Well, and that leads perfectly to the next point here, that content piece.
Mm,
What is the content that the AI is looking for? How are they getting this information? And then what does that mean going back to SEO and back to those conversations? So, how do we think about it and how do we feed it the correct content?
right. This part frustrates me. So there's so much noise out there about the
Mhm.
way AI does search and what's all that. It just reminds me of like early SEO, and you got into these like spammy tactics like word stuffing. And so everyone's like, oh, well, how do I hack the AI to mention me? So I would say 80% of it is just traditional SEO. How good is your content? How thorough were you? It's like that investing thing again. Like, what are the fundamentals around what is good content that needs to happen? The the nuance is that AI has gotten so much better, particularly ChatGPT, about finding the most unique piece of content. So my advice always is, if you're using AI to write your content, which is fine. I mean, everyone's doing it. It's going to be derivative. I mean, there's this great quote by Seth Godin. I hope I get it right. Is that AI writes poetry, but it can't write poems. So it
Oh,
knows the technical,
yeah.
like, writing haiku, it knows the formula, it can write it, but it misses the soul or the intent or the connection with the audience. And that's what I always really encourage. Like, I can't believe an SEO guy is saying this, right? But the SEO, we're now telling, like, you got to tell a unique story because the AI is trying to serve up content that is the most useful to the human in engagement. So, and we could talk about robots then writing for robots. We'll get into that. But for now, the AI is trying to serve up content that's very unique, that's going to answer that query very specifically. So the other thing that's happening that's really important to point out. So one, unique content. The
Mhm.
other is we've gone from keywords, 5 words in a search bar, to
Right.
conversations. So keywords to key conversations. The conversation, even what you write in the chat prompt, is 5 times longer than the keyword or the traditional keyword written in Google. And I say Google, but Bing, whatever. I just say search engine. So now we have to start thinking about, okay, I don't just type in dentist near me. I start with, I have a toothache. Oh, it looks like you have an abscess. What's an abscess? Well, who's a dentist near me that does that treatment? Well, are they any good? That is way different than typing in, trying to get into the for box of like,
Yeah.
hey, the closest dentist to me and they have the best
Yep.
reviews. So now these local dentists are starting to write about their case studies and their client engagement and everything more on their research, on their outcomes and how they're a part of the community, how the personal dentist, their brand, not just the name of the practice. All of these things are now being put into what people are looking for, and that's what ChatGPT is trying to serve up: a very detailed conversation, the best fit
Mhm.
for the query.